Hey everybody, you're listening to Come At Me Show. I'm reigning champ Tim Keck, here to talk to you about what's on my mind. What's going on. This week's theme is states. Got a couple other thoughts up top first. Netflix, I see you, babe. I see you. I was watching some Netflix during lunch today. I paused it and I went to like screensaver mode. And just before I started doing this podcast, I got a little flash, and the screensaver for Netflix, it just kind of flips through shows that are on Netflix or soon coming to Netflix. And one of them was an ad for a new show coming out called Warrior Nun. I am all in on Warrior Nun. I don't know anything about it. I saw the title, Warrior Nun. I saw the image for a fraction of a second, and it's just some babe holding a cross like she's going to use it to fight people. And I'm all in, man. That's exactly that. It's not going to be good, but it's exactly the kind of trash that I aspire to in my action movies. It's got to be if it's not an action movie, they need to grow up. But Warrior implies action. None implies just some grandiose scheme to this whole thing. I love a righteous warrior. Right? They're either out for revenge or they think God's on their side or something. They need a motivation. They need like just the minimal motivation in order to go about their business. If I'm watching an action movie, the protagonist needs that's why John Wick is like one of the best action movies. Dude, they killed his dog and he's like, fuck that. I'm killing everybody. Revenge for my dog. It's amazing. Taken. Perfect. Daughter kidnapped. I gotta pull out all the stops to get her back. I will stop at nothing. I will use these special skills I've cultivated over my long, dangerous career that I'd put aside and put on the back burners before this, just to spend more time with this daughter. And now she's gone. She's taken. And I got to use my skills to get her back. Warrior Nun. God. That's all I need. Somebody talked too loud during Mass. And now Warrior Nun's out for revenge. What if she listens to confessions? This is my pitch for Warrior Nun. She can nuns take confession? Is that a thing? I'm gonna say it's a thing. Warrior Nun, she takes confession, right? And people come and they confess horrible things to her, and then she goes out and she dresses like a warrior, and she fights them and rights the wrongs that they confess. Because mobsters love confessing stuff in the booth, because then they get the guilt off their heads. They get the guilt off of them, but they're still not going to get arrested for that, because you can't use that against them. But she does. Hence Warrior Nun. I think I've already built this too big in my head, honestly. I think there's no way Warrior Nun on Netflix is going to be better than Warrior Nun in my head. I'm going to watch it. I'll watch it and report back. I don't know when it comes out. I saw it for a fraction of a second, but I'm pumped for it. Other movie talk. Last bit. Flash movie, I guess, is coming out. It's the Flash, the superhero. I don't think we need it. Oh, the Flash, like the 8th worst thing in the Justice League movie. Did anybody see the Justice League movie? I don't know. We're just talking superheroes. And the only fun bit about this movie, about a superhero called the Flash, who moves so fast that he literally, is like, what's the term? He moves so fast that there's no plot that can contain him, right? There's no obstacle that he can't super speed around. I mean, he's a broken character. Whatever. The Flash movie might, rumor has it, that Michael Keaton will be playing Batman in the Flash movie. Wow. If you know me at all, you know that Michael Keaton, in mine eyes, the best Batman of all time. Maybe not the best Batman, the best Bruce Wayne, for sure. I don't know if you remember the 1989 classic Batman, Tim Burton, Michael Keaton, fighting Jack Nicholson as the Joker. Are you kidding me? Incredible. Such a great movie. Such a great film. The best thing about Michael Keaton and his portrayal of Batman in that first movie is that if you're not familiar with Batman, if you live under a rock, he's a billionaire playboy who, at night, dresses up as a bat in a high-tech costume and fights crime. And I'm thinking, if somebody dedicated their whole life to fighting villains at dressing up as a bat and fighting bad guys, that'd be pretty much all they thought about. I mean, I knew I was going to record this podcast today, and it's pretty much all I thought about today. I'd say I was a little distracted, going about my day, trying to think about what I was going to talk about for this thing. See if I had any ideas coming. Wondering what these voicemails were going to be. But Batman, if he's Batman, if Bruce Wayne is Batman, he's got to spend all day just thinking about Batman. And people are trying to ask him about billionaire shit. Yo, what do you think of the stock market, Bruce? He's just like, what? Sorry, I was too busy thinking about, stabbing someone in the neck with a batarang, which is a boomerang, but it's shaped like a bat because everything Batman uses is shaped like a bat. To get the point across that I'm a bat. How crazy would it be if Batman just used a regular knife? I can't do that. I'd be embarrassing myself out there. Criminals wouldn't be intimidated by a guy wearing a pointy hat, wielding a regular knife. No. I gotta whittle these boomerangs into little bat shapes just to get the point across, just to drive it home. That's a dedication to my craft that I need. But that's what he's thinking about in stock meetings and stuff. Bruce, what wine should we use for this thing? I don't know. I'm too busy thinking about how much weight my grappling hooks can hold. These are the thoughts of Batman. And in that movie, he's dropping stuff. He's knocking things over. He's like a bumbling fool as Bruce Wayne. And then Batman comes around. He puts on that mask, and he's who he's meant to be. All right? Batman is his real self. Bruce Wayne is the character. I don't know. Whatever. States. We're talking states this week. That was the category. That was the category I picked on the show that I recorded a month ago, and waited to release. I didn't think states would be an edgy topic a month ago, but maybe it is now. I don't know. We'll get to it. We'll figure it out. We'll see what people are saying. The thing with states, I'm from Florida. I live in New York now. I don't know if I'll ever be from New York. I kind of figured the next place I go, if I move out to, anywhere that's not Florida, or maybe if I move back to Florida, people can be like, oh, that's the guy from New York. That's the super cool, good-looking dude with the hilarious podcast from New York? Wow. Good for him. But in my head, I'm like, I'm from Florida, man. I'm a Florida man. I'm a Florida guy. Born and raised. Born in Florida. Went to high school in Florida. I'm from Satellite Beach, Florida, man. That's where I'm from. I actually lived in Indian Harbor Beach, but Indian Harbor Beach is like a tiny little dot on the map. I love it. It's nice there. But Satellite Beach... See, I've taken on Satellite Beach, Florida. That's where I say I'm from. If anybody asks if I'm from Satellite Beach, Florida, because it's a little bit bigger than Indian Harbor Beach, some people know where it was, and I went to Satellite Beach High School, so it feels like I'm from there. But again, I'm not even really from there. I'm from a little place right next to it. I'm in the city right next to Satellite Beach, but I say I'm from Satellite Beach. So already I'm kidding myself. So already it's a joke. Me saying I'm from Satellite Beach. It's a little bit stretching the truth. Am I from New York? I don't know. How long do you have to live in a place to be from there? Is it just when you're a kid? Is it where you grew up as a kid? I remember being so proud of where I went to high school. So proud of where I went to high school. I was body painting for stuff, showing up to pep rallies. Shirtless with an S on my chest for the Satellite Scorpions with this hand gesture and everything. Went to volleyball games. Went to track meets. Went everywhere. Just bled scarlet and silver. It was the most important thing in the world to me at the time. And now I guess it did mean a lot. Played football there. Wrestled on the wrestling team. Wearing the big ol' SH on my chest. Got that Satellite Scorpion on the back. I guess I'm proud of that. Maybe that's why I'm from there. Because I guess, I'm not body painting for football games anymore. I'm not going to high school track meets and cheering on people. But, maybe that's why I say I'm from there. Because that was the time that resonated with me the most. I think on the last episode, the thing that got me on this states kick, and the thing that really confused me, was where people are from. So Florida, you're a Floridian. We get that. That one's easy. We all know this one. California, you're a Californian. Okay? But there are a ton of these that I have no fucking idea on. No fucking idea. I actually Googled the list of all those states. I shouldn't say I Googled it. Because I don't know the states. I know there's a song that you can sing and you remember the states. It's like the alphabet song, like A, B, C, D. But if I'm not one of those people who just knows where J is in the alphabet. I have no idea. I have to sing the song to myself. That's a vulnerable overshare. But I don't know all the states. I probably do. I probably know all the states. But I don't know. Running through them in alphabetical order? I don't think so. Let's start at the top. Alabama? What does that make you? An Alabaman? An Alabamer? Is someone that lives in Alabama an Alabamer? An Alabam? So Florida ends in an A. We throw an N on the end of that. Alabaman. Maybe that's it. Alaska, Alaskan, easy. Arizona, Arizonan? That's weird. Arkansas, Arkansan? It's an Arkansan? An Arkansan. California, easy. Coloradan? Connecticut. See, Connecticut's one, like, what the fuck? What do you do with Connecticut? It ends in a T? Does any other state end with a T? No, it doesn't look like it. Massachusetts in? You're a Massachusettan? What is this? Who named the states? Some of these names are crazy. Idahoan. I don't know. Idaho. Wow, I'm incredible. Illinoisan? An Illinoisan? That's annoying. Illinoisan. Good for them. I don't know what any of these are. Am I crazy? Am I the only one who doesn't know what these are? Does everybody else know what someone from Ohio is called? An Ohioan? An Ohioan? Ohioan sounds good, actually. An Oklahoman. That's an easy one. Pennsylvanian. Easy. Rhode Islander. Easy. South Carolina. Carolinian. South Carolina. South Dakotan. South Dakotan sounds good. Tennessee. What? Tennessean? A Tennyson? A Tennyson. I'm a Tennyson. A Tennyson for Tennessee. Washingtonian. Wisconsinian. Wyomingian. Utah. What's somebody from Utah called? A Utan? A Utahs? A Utahs? Utahs. All the Utahs from Utah. All the Utahs from Utah. You got to give me a call. Hit me up on the show. Let me know what I should call you. Because I got fans worldwide. Global. And if I can't name the names of the fans in the United States, how am I supposed to cater to the ones in countries I've never heard of and have no idea where they are? Alright? So I need your help. Let me know. I could look this up. I'm not going to look it up. I thought this would be a fun thing to do together. Now we'll see.
Hey, Tim. This is a long-time listener and a long-time caller. I was listening to the first episode just now, and I noticed that a lot of people seem to be sending you messages about how they want to make fun of you for starting a podcast, and I think that's kind of low.
Nice.
It is my opinion that anyone who makes fun of someone else for having or starting a podcast wishes that they themselves had or started a podcast. And I wondered if you had any takes on this take. I'm happy to take my answer on the show. We'll talk later, buddy.
Yeah, I got thoughts. I got a lot of jealous people out there calling in, being like, oh, Tim, is this a cry for help? Is this a cry? Fuck you. I am strong. I am powerful. This isn't a cry for help. I heard your cry for help, crying out in the night, wondering where you were going to get your hot takes from, your new opinions, wondering what I thought about stuff. People need to know. People need to know what. People are dying to hear my thoughts. Unfortunately, I've had to deal with a lot of jealousy in my life, and this is just another example of that. Man, I don't know. I thought it'd be fun. Hopefully this is fun. You guys like this podcast, right? Don't forget to rate and review. 5 stars. 5 stars on Netflix. Leave a little comment. Say how great it is. Tell me what state you're from.
Hey, bud. It's your oldest pal, Steve. So, I guess you're really doing this thing.
My oldest
so
pal.
I guess we'll do some support. When
The
it comes
skepticism
to states,
from
man,
everybody.
I mean, we come from the best. mean, we have our own superhero, Florida Man. You don't hear about Oklahoma Man or Wyoming Man, no Missouri Man out there. There's only Florida Man. It's the best. And what other state has literally a countdown county?
Amen,
3, 2,
brother.
1, blast off. Literally, we put men into space. Nobody can beat that. We win. I don't even know why you're talking about this. There's literally no other state that can compare to Florida. We have our superheroes, we put people into space, and we have Disney. What else could you ask for? I mean, get rid of all the old people because whatever. But, yeah, Florida's the best. Other states can suck it. All right. Hope you're doing well. And, yeah, sounds like a real cry for help, bud. But you know what? I'll support you. All right, later.
You know what we really need is longer voicemails. If you could leave the longest voicemail possible, I would appreciate it. The longer, the better. No, Steve made a ton of good points. Florida is incredible. I know I'm a little biased. I'm a little biased because I'm from there. Florida Man, I don't know if I would say Florida Man is a superhero per se. But the Florida Man phenomenon is, maybe it's wrong that I'm proud of it. For those of you who aren't familiar, there's kind of a bit online about how every time there's a crazy story in the news, they'll write, and it takes place in Florida, they'll start out by saying, like, you know, instead of man broke into a car, it's like, Florida man broke into a car or whatever and got in a diaper and ran around with a samurai sword or whatever it is that they did in Florida. And there's like all these, like, there's like these sites and things, and there's a great Twitter I follow, I think it's just Florida Man, and he just retweets every news story that starts out going, Florida Man, insert crazy batshit story. And I don't know why, but I'm always proud of those. They're never flattering. They're all a little sad. Something like some dude, some methed out lunatic stabbed someone in a Taco Bell drive-thru over not getting the hot sauce that he wanted or something. I don't know. They're crazy, but every time I'm like, oh, home. Beautiful. I'm like, oh, good. Good, they're crazy. Other states wish they were as crazy as Florida. I mean, now there's a lot of things Florida doesn't do great. There's a lot of things Florida does bad. But there's a lot of states that want to be crazy like Florida. I mean, now that I'm in New York, I got a bunch of friends from Ohio, and they're always like, "Oh yeah, Ohio man. Yeah, that's a thing. Ohio man. We used to play in Ohio. We play this game where you read a crazy news article, and then everybody has to guess if it took place in Florida or Ohio." It's like, okay, man, cool game. You know how I know Florida is way crazier than Ohio? Because in Florida, we don't have that game. We don't even think about Ohio. We're just crushing it on our own with our crazy people doing insane shit all the time, embarrassing us. They're beautiful. Every one of them is a beautiful, unique snowflake that floats around Florida, making bad decisions, not wearing their masks. Florida Man, I wouldn't say Florida Man's a superhero, but it is iconic. Countdown County, baby. That's where I'm from. That's where I grew up. Brevard County. And Brevard County is where Cape Canaveral is, which is where NASA is, which is where space shuttles go up into the sky and do astronaut stuff. I don't know what they're doing out there, collecting, space in little jars and bringing it back. Going up closer to take pictures of the moon. Going up and floating around for a little bit. I want to know what... I actually have no idea why we're doing this. Now that I'm thinking about it, what's the point? Are they discovering new life out there? They're doing experiments? Oh, how does a plant grow in zero gravity? Like, I guess who cares? But it's cool. They're exploring. They're adventurers. They're like the last great adventurers. They're heroes of the modern age. Risking it all for the sake of discovery and the progression of science. And it's awesome, man. Being from Countdown County, our area code, our area code actually starts with a 321. We had to petition for that. Some dude got real excited about it. This dude named Ozzy something in Florida actually petitioned the government. It was going to be some state in Michigan or some county in Michigan was going to get that area code. And he's like, nah, man. Space Coast. Space Shuttle. NASA. Let's make it the countdown, baby. 3, 2, 1. And that's how we got the nickname Countdown County. Very fun. Another great argument for Florida being the greatest state of all time. Disneyland, whatever. Disney Plus, I'm not impressed. I know they've got all the Disney movies on there. I mean, I don't need to rewatch any of these. I don't need to watch Tangled, all right? I don't need to watch the last worst Star Wars movie. I mean, I want to watch Endgame again, and I'll do it, because I fucking love Marvel stuff. But they don't even have all the Spider-Man movies on there. Grow up, Disney Plus. You can't say you have all the Marvel movies and not have Spider-Man, like the best hero. You know, he's like Batman except with spiders. He's great. There's nothing wrong with that. There is kind of a bummer Florida story that I do want to talk about my alma mater, the University of Florida, discontinuing a chant that they've been using at football games forever. And by ever, I mean since 1995 when they came up with it. The University of Florida mascot is the Florida Gators. Wow, I love alligators. They're awesome. And we had a cheer that was, if you aren't a gator like us, then you are gator bait. And they sing it at all the football games. They yell it at people. They got it on t-shirts. Anytime somebody comes into the field, it's like, oh man, you're gator bait. Dun, 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 gator bait. They're like yelling that at the other team, and it's fun. It was cool, and it was rowdy. And now the school's discontinuing that cheer. They're not going to do it anymore because of the racial undertones or the racial implication of the term gator bait. And it sounds crazy to me. I never would have thought of this in a million years. I don't think many people knew about this. But there is a history. This is a real bummer. Not fun conversation about, there's a lot of racist stuff about feeding black babies to alligators, literally using the term gator bait to describe black children. And I mean, if you look at this stuff, I mean, it's horrible. There's posters of this stuff. There's book covers with this thing. This is like a real term that was used in like the 1910s, 1920s. Was gator bait. I mean, it was a racist statement, and people talked about it. Like alligators prefer to eat black babies. I mean, it's crazy. It's lunacy, but it's like it was a real racial stereotype, a real racial problem. And is that what the cheer is about now? No. I gotta tell you, no. There's people who are, offended by this. I mean, justly so. I don't think anybody brought this up intentionally. I don't think it was like people were protesting to get this removed or anything like that. This was like a preemptive thing done by the UF faculty, and I'm for it. I think it's a good idea. Let's get it out of there. But people don't all agree. A lot of people are resisting this gator bait thing, including the person who came up with it, which is a football player named Lawrence Wright. In 1995, University of Florida beat the crap out of our interstate rival, Florida State University, the Florida State Seminoles, which is that's probably something they've got to address at some point. Having a team called the Seminoles. But we beat their ass in the swamp, which is what we call the football stadium. And afterwards he yelled, if you ain't a gator, you gator bait, baby. And after that, they became a cheer. The band led everybody in it. Was Lawrence Wright, a black athlete at the University of Florida, student athlete, bright guy, good football player. There was a national championship team, I remember, if I remember correctly. Was he bringing this up? And, to bring up this topic of, like, gator bait and, like, the racial thing behind that? No. People come with a mascot. They came up with a gator bait. That's a fun thing to say. I don't think it was done maliciously. I don't think there was any malicious intent behind it. But, I don't think it's a bad idea to try and get ahead of this stuff. If there are people at the school who are uncomfortable with it, then it's not worth doing, man. That's what I think. But boy, my Facebook page, I got so many UF alumni who are just shitting themselves over this, man. It's pathetic. It's fucking weird. I saw some girl I went to college with. She's like, "Oh, I ordered my gator bait shirt now before they get rid of all of them." I'm like, "Gator bait, man. What the fuck? Why can't? It's just a football cheer, man. Why can't we say gator bait? It's obnoxious. Get over it. It's a tradition. Traditions are fun until they're stupid and lame, and we stop doing them." We don't do the same traditions every single time. We had, since Tom Petty passed away, he's a Gainesville native where the University of Florida lives. Now they play his song, Won't Back Down, at every football game. That's a beautiful new tradition. It's only a couple years in, but it changed, it evolved, it became something new. It came out of nowhere. We had this other tradition, this guy, Mr. Two Bits. It was like this crazy old man. He used to come to all the football games, and he used to lead cheers. And the cheer's so dumb, it's like 6 bits, 4 bits, 2 bits, $1. All for the Gators, stand up and holler. he wore like a yellow shirt and blue pants and suspenders and a tie. He's just this crazy awesome dude who loved his school, and he showed up, and then he retired because he was in his 90s, and then our mascot started doing it, dressing up like him, and then they started doing honorary Mr. Two Bits. The thing has evolved. It changed. I mean, it's nice. It's a cool tradition. But times change. If you aren't a Gator, you're Gator bait. I'm fine with not saying that anymore. Who cares? People are freaking out. People are being such babies about this. There's people on there. There's so many people online complaining about this Gator. What do you mean we can't say Gator bait anymore? That was my favorite part. That was my favorite part of the football game was when the other team would come out and cause we're the Gators, and they would come out and they'd be like, okay, we're gonna play some football, and we'd be like, no, you're Gator bait. If you aren't a Gator, you're Gator bait. And they would look around, all confused, and they'd look at their uniforms and they'd be like, oh no, please say I'm a Gator. Oh no, I'm not a Gator. I guess I'm Gator bait. Stupid. It was fun. I love doing the cheer. Was it offensive at the time? I don't know. I'm glad we're not doing it anymore. I'm fine. I don't know if I'm glad. I'm fine with us not doing it anymore. Is this like the most? And also, I'm sure the school and most universities, there's probably some more proactive things they can do if they want to, solve racism in the school system. I mean, they made a big step in like the NCAA. I think they're going to start paying student athletes next year. Or they're going to let them take sponsorship money, I think is the thing. That's a huge step. That's huge. But if they're going to do that, that's awesome. If they want to go through all these old songs and take a look at themselves, I don't think it's a bad idea. It's not a bad time for self-reflection. If it's something that's offensive or annoys people or could be misconstrued, let's change it. That's how things go. Traditions are dumb. This week's episode of Come At Me Show is sponsored by 1-800-Flowers. Is your dad a pussy? Maybe he'd like a nice Father's Day bouquet from 1-800-Flowers. Half the price of our Mother's Day bouquets because they are the same bouquets. Bring a smile to your old man's face when he receives what's left of a beautiful flower arrangement with the word Mothers crossed out. 1-800-Flowers because boys like flowers too. I think I was supposed to read this last week, but what can you do?
Oh, Tim. I don't want to say who I am. I'll go by Nick. I was in the X-Men.
Whoa.
I listened to your last show, and at first I thought it was quite good, but you see, then you said some words that were quite hurtful to me, and what happened to us, Tim? What happened? Growing up as boys in Florida together, we used to always ride the alligators through the swamp. We'd watch the old men tear off faces nearby. And then it occurred to me as I finished the episode that it's because I never get it smothered when we go out for breakfast together, which it used to be like every week. I never get it smothered, Tim, but you know this about me. I'm allergic to the sauce, the sticky goo sweet sauce. I just hope we can patch things up, Tim, because this corona's really made me think what's important, and I'd like to restore our relationship. Again, I don't want to mention who I am, but my name is Nick, and I'm currently star of the Hulu series The Great, but I don't know, I look forward to hearing your answer on the air. Nicholas Holt!
Wow, honestly, very, very exciting to hear from Nicholas Holt, the most mediocre. I started listening to his awful voice for so long, I just started talking like Nicholas Holt. Nicholas Holt, not a great actor, better person, I gotta tell you. He's not a bad guy. He's not a bad human being. A terrible actor. I gotta be honest with you, last week, I spoke about him and his terrible acting. We used to be close personal friends. I forgot to mention that. Grew up riding alligators in the swamps together. Used to get brunch every week. But I don't know. After X-Men came out and he sucked in it, I didn't really want to hang out with him anymore. Honestly, when he called, I had to Google him. You know, the only Nicholas... I found Nick Holt, defensive line coach at USC. I was like, who the fuck? Why is Nick Holt calling me? Head coach of the Idaho Who Gives a Fuck Vandals? Who names a school team the Vandals? What a terrible name. What do you do? What's your mascot? Like a shitty kid with a backpack and a can of spray paint? It's pathetic. You know, an Idaho? I don't know, Idaho. What do you even call yourself, Idahoan? Get out of here. Now I got two enemies, Nicholas Holt and Nick Holt. Wherever you are, defensive line coach at USC, if you're still got that job, come at me, bro. Come at me, show.
What's up, Timbo? So the theme this
What's
week
up?
is states. I know that, and I've been FaceTiming and Zoom call with people across the country in all these different states. And I tell you what, I can't tell if I'm sick of it, sick of seeing everybody's faces on the computer, or if that's the only way I'm going to want to see people's faces from now on. Anyway, love the show. Can't wait to hear it. Give me your Tim take. This is Colby Smith. I got to go take a big number 2. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Wow, that's great. I'm glad he is, his bowels are working properly. Zoom is getting on my nerves, man. I got to tell you, I'm fucking over it. I don't want to hang out. I don't want to hang out with anybody on Zoom. What a bum. I mean, it's not fun. Maybe like a Zoom one-on-one. Okay, if I'm going to talk to somebody one-on-one, I'm stuck in my house all day. I'm still doing this like not quarantine, self-isolating thing. I'm not seeing anybody like face-to-face really. But I mean, if I want to talk to somebody, I'm going to get out of my house, put on my mask, go for a walk in the park, and a nice walk and talk, man. I love a walk and talk. I crush on a walk and talk. I'm very fun to talk to if I've got things to look at and I got a little momentum in me. I'm a creature of inertia, man. Once this body gets moving and these lips start working, magic comes out. I love going for a walk, calling somebody. I love going for a drive, calling somebody, chatting it up, talking it up. I have no problem talking to people without seeing their faces. I feel like people think communication is easier face-to-face, and maybe it is. It's kind of nice. I did a little FaceTime Zoom thing with the parents the other day, and that's nice. But it was like just us, my sister. That's a good group, I guess. I've been on these like family Zoom calls, and it's like my whole extended family, like 25 people. It's crazy. It's insane. We never do that. You never in real life get together at like Christmas or whenever when you're seeing everybody. You don't all just stand in a circle and wait for one at a time, someone to like talk and have like a single conversation one at a time while the other 20 plus people just stand there or sit there and listen and nod silently. That's crazy. Everyone's having all these other conversations. There's all different age groups. I'm on like calls with like my 6-year-old cousins and my 90-year-old grandpa. Like they don't want to talk all the time. Sometimes the kids just want to talk to the kids. Sometimes the adults just want to talk to the adults. Sometimes the kids want to talk to the adults, but not where we all can hear. I don't know. I'm over it. I think for social stuff, I don't need Zoom anymore. I don't need it ever again. For work, now that I've been working remote, everything for work can be done on Zoom. All business-related activities belong on Zoom. I don't need any more. We don't need any more face-to-face meetings for work. For work, I'm 100% convinced that nobody needs to meet in person ever again for a lot of jobs. I mean, if you're in manufacturing, which, probably not happening in the United States or whatever, but if you are working with your hands and you got to go into the office, God bless you. But man, the Zoom meeting is crushing it at work. It's great. It's great. It's also nice. You can multitask a little bit. You can be working on your thing, kind of get the Zoom meeting on in the background. I don't even show my face in Zoom meetings most of the time. I don't want to. I don't want them to see me. I'm just wearing like a wife beater or an A-shirt or something sweaty and nasty. I'm not looking my best self working from home. I don't want anybody to see me. I got to remember, I've been wearing the same New York Jets jersey to all my work meetings, just to cover up whatever I'm wearing underneath there. Zoom for work all day. I'm all for it. Zoom for family, friends, nah, I'll pass. I don't need it. I like the Zoom work. I'm talking work. Not like the social. I miss the social stuff at work. I miss swinging by someone's desk, catching up on the office goss, of which I never know any. I'm so out of the loop with goss. I don't know any goss. I have no goss. If you ask me for goss, I don't have any. I never have any. And I really just want to talk about me, so it doesn't matter. I want to hear about other people, but I want to talk about me. I never have goss. And when I do have goss, it's quickly one-upped by somebody else's better goss. There's always better goss out there. That's what I've learned. There's always better goss. And it's hard to get that goss over Zoom. I guess. Yeah.
Hey, Tim, this is Matt Strickland. I was just calling in to ask what your opinion is on, dudes who are old but are, still have full heads of hair.
Oh,
I feel
boy.
like that's not fair. I feel like every man should have to say goodbye to his hair at some point. Strictly, they should have to say goodbye to it. It should all be gone. Wanted to see if you agreed with that, and if not, why. This is Matt Strickland. Have a good day.
Amen, brother. Get that hair out of there. I'm done with it, man. I'm done with it. I don't respect it. You see an old man with a full head of hair. How much money does that guy have? That is not real. Effort already your hair, bro. You know? I feel like all this stuff where you're just like, oh, how do they look so good? It's money. It's money. Or it's time, which is money. So they either have the time to go to the gym a bunch constantly, work from home, drop the kids off, get my pump on, pick the kids up, down a protein shake, swing by the doctor's office, once the kids are napping, get my hair plugs put in. I don't know, man. A full head of hair, it's hard to trust a full head of hair, man. Full hair people are a shifty group. They're a sketchy breed. They're all salesmen. They're all kind of slimy. When you talk to like a used car salesman, you're like, oh man, I want to buy a car, but there's something about I just don't trust the words coming out of your mouth. I don't trust that you have my best interests at heart. Everyone loses. Men should be losing their hair. Men, I mean, and I'm not gonna shame anybody. I'll shame the full head hair people, but bald people, man, you guys are great. You're champions. You know what? You have more testosterone. That's a real thing. Men losing their hair, it's manly. Losing your hair is the most manly thing you can do as a man. I mean, there's all different kinds of men. I'm not trying to man shame anybody, but man, bald men, be proud. Rock that look. Represent. I'm not here to shame anybody if you got full hair, whatever, receding hair, whatever. Who cares? You're all great, but bald people are better. They're just better. And with that, it's time for Tim Keck's Top 5. Wow. Need a drop. Tim Keck's Top 5 this week. We're talking about states. Got a lot of messages. Tim, what do you think of this state? What is this state? I know Florida's your favorite state. What's a better state? I'll tell you what a better state is. Not from experience, because this is Tim Keck's Top 5 states I haven't been to, but want to go to someday. Okay. Number 5, Nevada. 3 words, Las Vegas, baby. I'm a gambling machine. You know me. You see, we get to Vegas, boy, I'm plopping down at that $5 blackjack table, and I'm living there, man. I'll stay there for hours. $5 blackjack's the best. $10, it's like, what the? I played like 2 hands of $20 blackjack once. Got broke so fast. But $5 blackjack, man, you can play all day on $5 blackjack. I've only been gambling like for real twice. Career-wise, I'm still up like $300. I really crushed it the first time. Went to some bachelor party on the Poconos, went to some casino there, walked away with like $500. Crushed it. I paid for the Uber back. I was like, I got this, guys. The king is flush tonight. Crushing it at blackjack. I think that I played craps the next time, down 75, whatever. I'm still positive. Still positive all time for Vegas, for gambling purposes. Vegas, gambling, taken care of. Vegas, city of magic. David Copperfield, Carrot Top, all of the greats, making you question what's real and what's not. Mystery, mayhem, the Hoover Dam, four-wheeling in the desert. Nevada, I'm picturing Vegas is Las Vegas in my mind mentally. Nevada is a desert, and Las Vegas is that oasis that you see in the mist, and you're driving through, and it's kind of like all blurry in the distance, and you're like, what is that? Is it a person? Is it a football stadium? Maybe someday it could be if they get a football team. No, it's Las Vegas, baby. Las Vegas. I've been to Atlantic City, the Las Vegas of the East Coast. That place, man, it sucks, but in just a great way, man. It sucks the way an action movie sucks, where I'm just like, man, this isn't good, but I'm having a fucking blast. It's a good time, man. It's a good time. Number 4, Hawaii. I want to go to Hawaii. I've never been. Fresh fish, bish. Island life. I'm an island lifer. I'm from Florida. Hawaii, it's got to be great. I love a beach, man. I love a beach. I love looking out at a beach. I want some clear water. Some crystal clear water. And I want to hunt a fish. I want to get one with one of those Hawaiian slings they have in Florida on Survivor, where it's like a pole and a spear and a rubber band that goes around your arm, and then you let it loose and it stabs the fish underwater. Boom. And then I want to eat it. Then I want to catch a fish, and I want to eat it out of a pineapple on the beach while drinking another beverage out of a pineapple, looking out on the ocean. That's the dream. And yeah, I've caught fish before, and I've eaten the fish I caught before. But every time I've eaten a fish I caught, I've always been like, I don't know if this is the best idea. This fish was dumb enough for me to catch it. That's a bad sign. The water here, not super clear. Hawaii, I'm picturing crystal clear water. Beautiful water. You can just drink right out of the ocean. It's not even salty. You just beautiful fresh water. It's incredible. And if you're going to have a drink, if you have a beer in your hand or whatever you're drinking, there's no place, nowhere better to drink than looking at a body of water. That's incredible. Take that over a dive bar or a suite at a football game or a skyline. Body of water, man. Beer in hand. Babe at your side. Friends all around you. It's beautiful, man. It's a good time. Florida, Hawaii, they got surfing. I love surfing, man, or as I call it, sitting. I'm a big fan of just paddling out and just sitting on the board while my friends do all the work. I think that's from my youth. I had a short board, which the shorter the board, the harder it is to stand. And I was a long board body on a short board budget, and I found an old short board that had a hole in it, and I patched it up. And when I stood up on it, it kind of just sunk in the water. So I would sit on it, and I would just float out there. Just watch everybody. And hope that one of my buddies was bringing a longboard so that I could ride. Number 3, Louisiana. 3 words, New Orleans, baby. Yeah, it's that simple. New Orleans, jazz music, shrimp on the Barbie, just a good times, drinking, walking around, drinking out of your cup. Nobody cares. You can drink whatever you want in the streets. You can do whatever you want in New Orleans. You walk around with beads, you get flashed. You see someone with beads, you flash them. It's incredible. It's got to be incredible. I don't know. I haven't been, but I can't wait to go. It's on the bucket list for sure. I want to go shrimping. I want to get on a boat in the Gulf and just shrimp. Just shrimp all those, and just pull up those nets heavy with shrimp and just run my fingers through them. Like grains of rice, just shrimp pouring through my hands, through my fingertips. That's the dream, man. Shrimp finger, shrimp boat. Gotta love it. And they've got the coolest NBA mascot too, the Pelicans. Pelicans are awesome mascot, man. Name a better mascot than the Pelicans. Maybe they're not the most intimidating things ever, but they're cool-ass birds, man. They got big old gullets. They can just scoop up a fish. And then I guess they squirt out the water. They just drink a lot. They eat a lot of water. They just go down, they get a fish in their big old thing, and then they hang out. They're ocean birds. It's just such a vibe. Pelicans are a vibe, man. Fucking love birds. Next week's topic, birds. Call in. Get your calls ready. Next week, we're talking about birds. Number 2 on Tim Keck's top 5 states I haven't been to but want to go to someday. Texas, man. I want to go to Texas. Big hats. You can shoot your gun in the air whenever you feel like it. Texas is crazy. They got a great music scene. I don't know why that's important to me, but for some reason it is. I always want to be in a city with a great music scene. I don't go to a lot of live music. I like country music, and I like live music, but I don't seek it out. But just knowing I could makes me feel good. Barbecue? Oh, Texas, the holy grail of barbecue. Low and slow, smoking over a pit for hours, man. That's what I'm all about. I want to do a nice barbecue tour of Texas. Swing by Austin, listen to some music while I stuff my face with smoked brisket. And I feel like there's water. Texas is just like watering holes too, right? You're just like in a, I guess maybe not a desert, but I'm picturing just a lot of like a lot of little land lakes, a lot of lakes next to like slippery rocks with like wood boards jutting out of them so you can jump in the water. There's like, Texas is like people swinging off ropes into lakes and shit, right? Like that's Texas. Barbecue, jumping into water off of swings, that's Texas. Can't wait to go. Number 1, Alaska. Alaska. I want to go to Alaska. I bet you forgot about Alaska. You look at a map, it's not even there, man. It's on the other side of the world, because my world is Canada, and it's on the other side of that. Alaska seems crazy, dude. You gotta take like a boat there or something. Can you fly to Alaska? I don't know. Their days are weird. What's that all about? It's like dark more, like all the time there, but they have the northern lights. They got all the beautiful colors in the sky. What's that? I gotta see it. I gotta check it out, man. Put on my snowshoes, throw my rifle over my shoulder, get my little tennis racket feet up on top of that snow, strutting around, seeing what's up. They got moose in Alaska. Moose are crazy, man. My folks went to Alaska, heard all about it. You ever go on a vacation and then it just becomes a part of your personality for a while? That happened to my folks in Alaska. Where it's just like, this is who I am for the next couple months. I went to Mexico like a while ago, and that became most of what I was. People had a conversation. Hey, Tim, how's it going? We just got back from Mexico. They took me in as one of their own. I don't speak Spanish, but I feel like if I stayed there longer, I could definitely learn it. I could definitely speak it. I knew enough to get by. I knew enough to get by. Dos tacos pescados, por favor. Please, if you could. Dos tres tacos. Donde está el baño? I could get by. I could thrive in Mexico, but my parents went to Alaska, loved it, said it was awesome, saw some moose there. Moose are crazy. Moose are gigantic. However big you think a moose is, multiply that by 2, and then give it a pissed off personality. Apparently, if you see a moose in Alaska, you have to freeze, because they'll attack you. They're crazy. They're angry. So if you see a moose, you freeze. You stand in place. You don't go anywhere. And you just wait until the moose leaves. You just gotta wait until the moose leaves. How many people are late to work because they saw a moose? Yeah, I was walking from my car into the building, but then this moose showed up, and I've been standing outside for the last 30 minutes. Not again, Ted. You can't see a moose every day. It's like the dog ate your homework excuse, Like when you're a kid. Where's your homework? Oh, the dog ate it. I never actually used that because I never had a dog. Never even heard anybody say it. But it's a trope. It was in all the TV shows. Can't come. Don't have my homework. A dog ate it. Oh, why you late, Tim? Oh, moose. Moose made me late. I gotta see a moose. I want to stare one in the face, and I want to have to stand there until it leaves. That's a dream of mine, and that's why Alaska is number 1 of Tim Keck's top 5 states I haven't been to, but I want to go to someday. 5, Nevada. 4, Hawaii. 3, Louisiana. 2, Texas. 1, Alaska. And that's our show, guys. That is Come At Me Show for this week. Thank you for listening. Rate and review wherever you're listening. Give me 5 stars. throw a little comment on there. Say something snarky. And of course, leave me a voicemail. I love it. You'll hear it on the show. Leave me a voicemail at the 862-505-1376. 862-505-1376. Or email the show at comeatmeshow@gmail.com. Or Twitter, Instagram, wherever, at comeatmeshow. Thank you for listening. Next week, topic, birds. Call, message, email, do whatever. Tell your friends, tell your enemies. Birds next week. Thank you for listening, and the King stays king. Bye.